Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of Escreal Let's Play Minecraft. Today we're going to do something a little bit different and move outside of our base because I want to start doing a community build. I haven't done one of those yet, and I think it's about time. So let me show you a little bit of what I am thinking about doing, and we'll start building it. First off, here's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be taking our pumpkin farm and basically making it an industrial size pumpkin farm. It's going to change its shape and design, of course, but it's going to still be relatively space sensitive. I came up with a design that's in total 7 by 7 and infinitely stackable. So that's what I will be doing, is I'm going to attempt to build that, and I think it will be totally good. For my own purposes, this is producing pretty well, and in fact, if you are less inclined to using jack-o'-lanterns in your builds than I am, this is probably like perfect. I am really happy with the production of this for its space and what it gives you. I'm really happy with that. But as I mentioned, I do a lot with pumpkins in my designs. So, or with jack-o'-lanterns, pumpkins becoming jack-o'-lanterns. So I was thinking, and I mentioned this in the last episode, of maybe building another pumpkin farm or a modified version. And while I could do something like that inside the base, and I was playing around with a few designs that I could do in the space that I have, I ultimately came to the decision that, let's just go sort of crazy and make it super productive, super high volume output, and I'm sure that I will get more than I need out of it, so let's just make it community-based. So this particular build is not going to be inside my base, although I have plenty of space for it. And in fact, between the previous episode and this one, you may have noticed I cleared out a lot of space, in part in prep for this type of a build. And then I went and got very over the top with how much I did go on and remove. So yeah, we are now at a point where basically my entire underground base has been cleared out for any builds that I want to do. And that will be pretty helpful for future builds. But for today, we're going outside of our build. Our wheat farm that we made last episode is going great and producing phenomenally. I've been breeding and killing cows with the high success rate that I'd hoped. Maybe for a future episode, we'll extend this a few more tiers, but we're not doing that this episode. This episode, we're going out of here and building outside. But I do want to grab from my leftover resources the extra jack-o'-lanterns that I have, because, not surprising, jack-o'-lanterns are going to feature in the build that I'm doing. So here's basically the plan. I once again do not have any slime. I don't have sticky pistons. I don't have slime blocks. So I need a design that uses really easily accessible base materials, much like the first pumpkin farm. So that's where we're at. So we needed a design that doesn't make use of sticky pistons. Done. Easy enough. And then I wanted something that was vertical. I didn't want to kill a lot of space. And I wanted something that was easily stackable. So I played around a little bit, and the design I came up with, like I mentioned, is 7 by 7. And I was thinking of putting it right here and letting people know what's going on. Also, that construction and Let's Play recording is happening Saturday night. If the mood is right, which it is. So here we are. So this is the footprint of the farm. The only thing not sort of taken into account is the chests. I am thinking that I will use 2 double chests as the sort of way of gathering the materials. That's probably enough, at least for the time being. And everything else is really basic materials. It's things like regular pistons, We have some redstone repeaters. We have comparators, which we luckily have more than enough quartz from when we went out earlier. And I'm also using some redstone glow lamps. So I'm going to turn these glowstone into redstone lamps because I have this really cool thing that happens. And I'll hold that off as a little bit of a surprise as to what I'm using that for because I think it's kind of funny. It's at least a little bit funny. So we'll get started, and I'm going to just craft up a bunch of base materials. Oh, yes, the one other thing I wanted to talk about is I'm going to use chiseled stone bricks for this design. And this is something that I haven't worked with in the past, but I was playing around with some different looks of what I could potentially use, and chiseled stone bricks ended up looking kind of the best, in my opinion. So the way you can get chiseled stone bricks, by the way, is you take stone and you make a stone brick out of it. You take the stone bricks, we'll show this full suite, and from there you make stone brick slabs. Once you have stone brick slabs, you just stack them and you get the chiseled stone bricks. So we have a lot of steps to get to the chiseled stone bricks, but I think it will be worth it because I think it will look cool. And it'll add a lot of color. It's a different texture than already exists in the town. It's not reusing stone slabs like I was using there. And it is made out of material that I have more than enough of. So yeah, I think it will look really good. So situated in the back corner, you'll see the pumpkin farm rising up. Should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and prep all of my materials and then figure out exactly where our base is going to be. So I'll catch you up in a minute. All right, I've been putting together all of the various building materials that I need. I think I have everything, but we have our chests, we have our hoppers, we have all of the redstone that we need, including our pistons, our repeaters, our comparators, and our furnace. We do need to grab sand. Thanks for reminding me. So I'll grab some sand, but basically what we have here is enough material to build up to about 8 tiers of this vertical pumpkin farm. So if I can get to all 8 tiers, that is probably going to be more than enough, at least for right now. So that's my plan, is to try to build an 8-tier pumpkin farm in this episode. So let's grab some sand and let's get building. So previously I did scope out this area, and I think I like the positioning right here. But the one thing I do need to do is still place where we're going to have our treasure chests. So it's a 7 block wide, it's an odd number, and the double chests will look a little weird, but that's all right. So let's find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I didn't do my math correctly. Neat. Let's assume we want to start there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we'll kill this. And it is important for me to have this outline until I get started, because I'm trying to figure out some of the things, like, for instance, do we want the chests to start there? Because if we have them start there, we can have 2 chests, much like that. So it's even with our current floor, our current landscape, which is technically even with the path. So if we did clear this space so that the path is available, you're not going anywhere. The other option would be to have it go up a tier or go down. I think I'll just keep it like that, though. So that means that this is basically what we'll be building around. So I'm going to work up some form of facade around the outsides. I haven't quite figured out what that will be, but we can at least get our hoppers in place. And to do that, we'll take that guy out. I'm going to take him out. So we're going to put a hopper into the bottom chest. We're going to put a hopper into the top, and one more hopper going into that one. So my thought process is I will have the water drop stream. Let's make some scaffolding. So I'll have the water drop stream, which is going to come down the dead center end on top of this hopper. And then any material that goes into this hopper will flow through. First thing it will do is go all the way to the bottom. It will fill up this chest. And then once this chest is filled and there's no more space for hoppers to dump into there, this chest will fill. And it will back up this hopper, technically. And we could attempt to get creative with preventing items from going there. I just don't think it's going to be necessary. And if we have this filled with pumpkins and this filled with pumpkins and this one not yet filled, and as we take from this, the hopper will drain into it. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything fancy. I think that would be overkill. So, all right, we have this set up, which means that I now need to 1, 2, 3. This is the center. So the idea would be that water and resources would drop down here, flow down over there. So the one thing I need to do for this is just kind of make sure I save this space. So at least this high is where the actual farm will start. But I think that's okay. Yeah, probably okay. The other option would be that I could have these chests lower and have a item elevator, bring it up to the top. No, I'll just go with this. All right, so we're gonna be this high, and that's pretty reasonable. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is replace the scaffolding and just kind of set up what the basic framework will be, and then I'll show you how I'm going to be building it. All right, first update, we have the basis here. This is what it's going to look like. We'll have our chiseled stone feeding into our chests with a water stream, dirt in the center in a ring. Ultimately, this water stream will just actually be coming from really, really, really high up, the top level. It doesn't need to be at each. But when items go in there, they'll flow down, go into our chests. You may have noticed that I also added all of this water underneath our build. And the reasoning for this is because I am assuming that I am going to fall at least once. And while I may still land on something hard, like scaffolding like this, if I can't avoid it, I'll land in the water and I won't die and lose my stuff and be annoyed. So that's the thought process. We'll see how well that works, but I think it'll be okay. All right, so here's how it will look. So we have a cube here. Cube? A donut? A circle. We have a Minecraft circle of 9 blocks, 8 blocks with a center missing. The plan will be that on each corner, we will have pumpkins growing, or pumpkin stems. So that way, these middle pieces is where the pumpkins could grow. And each corner piece can either grow there or there, either side next to them. So they have twice the growth area. But whenever one of those things grow, it will trigger a bud piston, which will be right here, that will launch it into the middle and go down the water stream and make into our chests. So that is the plan, is we will go ahead and set up all of this. Now, unfortunately, it's going to be nighttime for some of this. So what I'll do is drop down some candles, I guess, for now, just to sort of illuminate. In fact, ooh, all right, I actually kind of love this. The candles represent where the stems will be. Huh? They're like glowing pumpkin stems in preparation for jack-o'-lanterns, right? I kind of dig this. All right, so now I just need to, we'll need you. And I'm going to just set up all of our pistons first. So here's here's the design that I came up with in order to do this. I think that it works out pretty well. So we have a piston where the pumpkins will grow. Next to that piston, we will have one going up. We're going to put a furnace on top of this piston facing inward. Something that you guys may start to notice is that this is basically the same design that we had previously for our smaller farm. Sand coming out of there, of our furnace. And from the side, we will go 2 blocks, place down our comparator, which will go into a block, which will have some redstone on it. So I'm going to do this first this way to sort of show how this will work. And then we just need to drop a stack of something in there. For the purposes of this demo, we'll just put that. So now we need to put more than that. I don't know if I have enough items on me. I'm going to need to go and get some. All right, so demo delayed as I get a whole bunch of stuff. Now, the good news about what I've been doing lately with all of my mining is I keep all of the resources. And the main reason, even though for the most part, you're like, cobblestone, it's easy to get. You can get so much of it. I have so much of it. What am I going to do with it? Well, you'd be surprised how convenient it can be to have a whole lot of cobblestone just kind of around, even if it's going to be for something like putting in your furnace. All right, so we now have this line fully powered. If we were to put down, let's say, a fake pumpkin, our bud piston fires. And that's the whole sort of premise of it. So now, whenever one of these 2 pumpkin stems grows a pumpkin, it'll get knocked forward, go down our stem, and this line that powers it gets disrupted from the sand block. But what we can do with this, and this is the part I'm kind of excited about, this was the secret sort of stupid thing that I'm excited to do, is we're going to play with redstone lamps. Now, in order to make a redstone lamp, because I forgot to do that when I was gathering up all my resources, we go ahead and put down some glowstone and just make a T like that. We're going to need a lot more than that, but not that much. All right. We'll keep it all. All right, I'm going to, as you can see, this is a fairly resource intensive build, but all right, so here's the next little bit. So I'm going to break that. I'm going to put a redstone lamp in the corner, and to power our 2 bud pistons, a repeater, which also means that I can get rid of basically all of the excess resources that were in there, because I only need to have a basic power coming out of that, because it only needs to power 1 block, and then the repeater does the rest. So we'll save a lot of sort of wasted resources in there, kind of. Still had to make a repeater and all that. But here's what's fun. All right, here's the cool thing. Here's the bit I'm excited about. Watch the redstone lamp when a pumpkin grows. Huh? What do you think? It flashes. So, every time a pumpkin gets harvested, we have a sort of indicator. I think that's either going to be really cool or super annoying. But with all of the rows and with all the pumpkins going, we should have a steady light show, not like crazy constant, but a light show going on, and one that's not based on a redstone clock or anything like that, so it shouldn't be really impacting the server. But with this design, we have a kind of small unit that fires for the individual pumpkin, but what I don't want to do is have 3 other pumpkins waiting for this one to fire, because I've seen and I've used those designs before, and sometimes that's fine, but I really don't want to do that this time. So what I'm doing with this build is basically taking this 2x4 design and just making it go around the ring. So we're going to do this pattern a few times, where we'll have a piston, next to it, a furnace on top, a block of sand, two blocks with a comparator coming out of the sand, a row of blocks behind it, a redstone lamp, a redstone repeater, redstone, and an item. And redstone on the top of that. So now we have that one and that one working. So really simple, easy to build. And what we'll have with this sort of design, you can see that there is a space here between them that isn't currently occupied with our design. So my thought was that would be a good spot to lay down some internal lighting. So we'll have basically something like that going around the whole thing. So I think what I'll do is just kind of quickly finish up this row, and then I will show you how we go vertical with this. All right, one full row complete. Now, one thing that I did notice with this current design that I'm not sure I like is if someone were to come into the space and try to exit through the reasonable hole in the wall, they can't because, it's not big enough. So they'd have to break the system in order to get out. And I don't really like that. So what I may do what I was thinking of doing was either lowering everything, which might be overkill, or maybe putting a trap door. I wonder if that would work. Let's just quickly make a trap door. Running low on wood. Planks, did I do it? Pressure plate. Is it 6? No, it's 6. All right, so get a wooden trap door and see if this will work. I think it will work. If it doesn't work, then I think I'm going to have to destroy all of this and raise it up one, because I really do want to have a way for people to get out. All right, and then we will test this with some water. What do we got? We use, yeah, this is this is one of the things that I'm going to need to probably use often. So I'm going to set up a semi-permanent way to get up here, and let's see if the trapdoor works. So we've got our water flowing. We will launch, how about redstone? I see it flowing. And we're stuck. We drop. The water even stays in. And in our chests, we get our redstone. All right, so this is perfect. Good, I didn't want to have to redo my design because of what we've built already. So this is how it's looking without the outside decorations. Now there's a few things that we can do. For instance, these corner pieces don't need to exist. So we're going to kill them. Which will make our design a little bit cleaner. So our outside row here is fully open. Now, we can decide if we want to have that filled in or not. I think for the time being, I'm not going to fill it in until we at least have one or two tiers and we can look at it from a distance. But that is currently kind of what it's looking like. And we can also get rid of that dirt. Just trying to do some cleanup so we can look at it from a distance and see how it looks. Oops. One thing that's, I don't think I've mentioned yet, is that this farm is currently outside of the town. And it's outside of the town because I didn't really have a space to put it. I mean, with the exception of one of the plots right all the way down there, which I didn't really want to use for this farm. So I decided to just kind of take it upon myself to extend the farm a little bit. And I think this is going to look wicked cool. I got to decide about the pumpkin though. I think I'm gonna cover up the pumpkins just simply because, you know, it's not like they're symmetrical. So we just have this like one asymmetrical line going up on each side. Well, dotted line going up. All right, we'll stick with the plan of leaving it there, build a few tiers, and go from there. Now this build is going to continue into the next episode, simply because we are already running fairly long, and there's still a lot left to do, and I really don't want to get rid of any of the content that we have so far or afterwards, because I think it's all really cool and kind of fun, and I think it's, I hope it's interesting to see kind of how my brain works as I'm building up these constructions and the designs and thinking them up and trying new things. So we're going to pause here. But I can tell you, because I've already seen it, that the final product, the conclusion of this build is wicked cool. I love what we produced. I'm really proud of it. I think it looks great. It works phenomenally. I am tempted to give a little teaser and turn the camera around to show you what it looks like, but I'm going to hold off. And you know, hopefully you'll come back in the next episode to see how it all comes together. And I would love it if you did. If you've enjoyed this episode, please click the like button down below, and if you're curious what happens next, please click subscribe. For now, I'm going to let you go, but thanks for watching, See you next time. Bye.